Okay, hold on, we're not quite there yet. While many games offer wide arrays of experiences and mechanics, things to do, places to go, currency to collect, endings to see, achievements to, well, achieve, they can often make the mistake of muddying themselves down by adding too much, getting too big for their pond, lose sight of what they even wanted to be in the first place. Continually adding mechanics is a sure way to see that none of your mechanics get the attention and refinement they deserve. N++ is one result of what happens when you only focus on the core gameplay loop. Find what works, what doesn't, what feels good, what needs correction, slow cooking the game like a crock pot, letting focus over time get the game feel to where it needs to be.
You see that right there? We, folks.
Fold it over like a katana, constantly iterating until the piece is so refined that it's just even sharp to look at, that you wonder how it was even made. I find N to be a special case because, unlike many other games, N spent 11 years in the oven. In 2001, at the University of Toronto, two people met, one Reagan Burns and Mayor Shepard. Together they formed Metanet Software, Shepard being responsible for art and programming, and Burns... definitely a programmer, I'm not gonna read all that. They get to cooking with a focused concept in mind, and they come out the other side in 2004 with the release of N. Or N, The Way of the Ninja. It gets a few awards at game festivals in 2005. Not bad for a Flash game. Wait. Flash game? Those typically look and feel a certain way. You get kind of a cheap or novel feeling in your head when you picture one of those. N looked different. Basic is a word. Simple's a bit nicer. I like brutalist. Absolutely no extra information, simple geometry to a fault, but maintaining readability and a core movement model designed perfectly for the scale of everything. So what is the game? I don't want to overwhelm you, so let's build from the ground up. So you have a player and a door. The door is closed, so to open the door, you need to hit a switch. The challenge comes from where you put the switch on the door. This is too easy, but this is physically impossible. You're shooting for somewhere in the middle. The movement in N is very momentum based. Acceleration, deceleration, air steering, wall jumping. Okay, good. Now you can start adding a little more spice. Trapdoors that open with a switch, trapdoors that close with a switch, bounce pads, bouncy cubes, one-way platforms, mines, floor chasers, Gauss turrets, missile launchers, thwomps, and so many types of drones. All of these items have so much depth and types of interactions, and the game is learning each one and what they're worth, and then honing your ability to navigate them. Oh, I almost forgot the most important part. The unending march of time. So you get a minute and a half to beat an episode. That's 5 levels in 90 seconds. Pretty tight timing. Enter gold. Gold gives you 2 more seconds to live and makes the classic sound. Ooh, the trick is how you go about giving gold to the player. You can use it to decorate your level or show a proper path. But most often, it's used as a very difficult optional side challenge. This is used to create typical risk-reward gameplay, combined with the pressure of a time limit that exacerbates things. And finally, you're scored on an episode by how much time you have remaining. Needless to say, N does very well. Real talk though? Squares are out. Zippy lines are in. Four years later, Metanet Software drops N+ in 2008. Quick tangent, I'm referring to the console version. There's 2 handheld games by the same name, but they're developed by Silverbirch Studios and published by Atari? These games did good and won some IGN awards, but they're a little dinky, and for the sake of progression, I'm going to skip them, but I might come back to them in a different video, because they have some exclusive features. Sorry, tangent over. Everything is a lot more stylized to an art style. Compare the enemies. They have a lot more moving parts. It reminds me a little of vector art libraries, but they're a little bit more refined than that. We now have parallax backgrounds and parallax shadows. And you probably already caught it, but check out that headband. You can't have a ninja without a headband.
The fuck you say to me, you little—
There are camera controls now. Levels of zoom allow for the full picture or some focus for tricky areas. The game now auto-plays levels one after the other, streamlining gameplay and opening up episodes to a more personal level-by-level system. We have a soundtrack now. It's only 3 tracks, but it was composed by Joris de Man, and he went on to compose for the Killzone and Horizon games. Good shit. As the name suggests, it is simply more. It is N plus graphics, music, features, levels, customization, refinement. This is the good shit. How would you even follow this up? Well, to start, how about 7 years on the grindstone? The year is 2015, and this bit sucks, so I cut it. N++. This game is the culmination of everything that Metanet put into N, and more. More being orb chasers, mini drones, toggle mines, speed boosters, whatever these are called, ghost ninjas. Dude, any platformer with this exact mechanic has to be stellar. Movement is somehow even more buttery smooth, mixed with a new minimalist yet stylized art style. There's color palettes that the 10-year-old me who had a Palm Pilot would have died for. You can even shuffle them every level. All these elements boil down into experience I can only describe as hypnosis. The amount of times where I realized it's 3 AM and I haven't moved or drank for the last 4 hours is a dangerous number. A new feature added is that a little gold piece appears next to an episode when you collect every piece of gold in that episode. And this is a decision that will prey upon whatever flame it is inside you that pushes you to do better. Try harder. Repeatedly throw yourself into the jaws of death over and over and over and over again until you find out exactly what it is that the game wants from you. Till you scrape and claw and learn a new intricacy about the engine to help you succeed. This game has moments that are as tedious as putting a broken window back together with super glue, and somehow I am here for it. I think describing yourself as the best platformer ever is quite an arrogant claim, but with what this game offers, it makes you almost believe it. And the content that it offers, dude. Over 4,000 handcrafted levels.
So, we've been making levels for 10 years. We've made approximately 5,000 at this point, which is over 1 every single day for the past 10 years. Every single day for the past 10 years.
That's kind of a hard number to picture, and seeing them all together is like art. Seriously, they sell art of just the levels next to each other. Didn't play the original N? Didn't play N+? They got you covered. There's legacy levels for that. If you beat a chapter, so a column of episodes, you unlock it for replay in the new hardcore mode, a spin on the mechanics that changes the game and what you prioritize. You have to beat every level in the chapter without running out of time. Death does not reset the timer. The genius here is absurd. The beginnings of episodes tend to be really easy, and the endings tend to be more difficult. So if you're only getting all the gold on the beginning few levels, the advent of hardcore to that equation makes this a perfect sine wave of discomfort relative to your time remaining. Thank you for not making all gold achievements for hardcore. I haven't even mentioned the online levels yet. There's a level editor in all endgames, by the way. Almost infinite extra content if you ever get bored of the thousands of levels in the main game. And the soundtrack, dude. 6 hours of wonderfully selected industrial electronic music to just help you melt away. This stuff is a mute button for the noise in your head. And the amount of little polish that passes you by. My favorite is holding the left trigger on any menu gives you full game customization at one fingertip. And the right lets you interact with the level you're on, such as adding it to your favorites or following the creator. So stylish and natural that it doesn't get the credit it deserves. I think my only criticism is that it's too much. There's more to do in this game than can comfortably be expected from a player. My jaw hit the floor when I found out how secret settings work, and the skill ceiling is absolutely unfathomable. Yeah, the game does get a bit of a rep for being hard, but if you go to the community levels and sort by hardest, you'll see this absolute unit named Skylighter pull some shit like this off. I'm gonna give you a beat to digest that. You're eventually going to hit a wall. At any skill level, it's gonna happen in this game. But luckily, the amount of content guarantees that you can always walk away and try again later. There's always another level waiting to be played. But the joy of surmounting what you thought would be impossible is a daily operation in this game.
Let's fucking go, dude.
You can play very casually, just have fun. But N++ gives so much room to hone your skills. The way that people practice fighting games or aim trainers or music games. This game has a perfect environment for that. All I hope is to shine more light on this game. Most people I talk to have no idea what it is. You should definitely pick it up just to feel it. It's a good time waster. The type of thing you can play in between Counter-Strike rounds. Or just shoot the shit in a Discord call. There's a few things I didn't even mention, like how cool the room names are, or how guides for secret levels look like hieroglyphs. What the fuck even is this? I think that all best for you to find out yourself. The community still seems pretty active. Good memes going on over there. I think that's about it.
Did you want to add something?
No.